Week 4 of the 2025 NFL season is here. We're 1 month in and 1 month smarter. This is your only place to get your 16-leg, low-stakes, high-reward moneyline parlay. This is the Sunday Script. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Sunday Script, your only place to get your 16-leg, low-stakes, high-reward moneyline parlay. But unfortunately, there's going to be a bye week coming up next week, so it won't be a full 16-legger next week, but it doesn't make a difference at all because we're still going to lock next week, and we're going to lock this week. But regarding last week, crazy week in the NFL there. Crazy week. Some upsets, last-minute field goals, blocked kicks. And even with all that, we still went 11 for 16. So you might be upset that we didn't hit, but we're glad that you did tail us. Because if you tail us every week, you'll hit one. And speaking of hitting one, we do know for sure that this week is a lock. We're 1 month in and 1 month smarter, fellas. So with that, we'll get into it with the good old-fashioned Thursday night rinse. We're going out to the desert for an NFC West matchup here between the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Seattle last week, great game against the Saints. So I feel like there's not really much that we can take away from that game itself. But the special teams accounted for like 30 of their points. Mm-hmm. So like I said last week, they were just going to have to run the ball and play defense and be fine. They didn't have to do that. They just had to return punts and kick field goals and return kickoffs. So great special teams game for the Seahawks. They're not going to need that this week against the Cardinals, I don't think. We shouldn't expect them to get that against the Cardinals this week. But, I mean, it's the Cardinals. I'm not high on the Cardinals. You know, Kyler Murray's going to run around and rinse like he always does. And, you know, that Michael Vick photo. What are we doing, Kyler Murray? Use your brain. You're going to post a picture with a pit bull and you're going to wear a Michael Vick jersey and then apologize for it? No shit. Like, whatever. But, I mean, use your brain. That's kind of, like, part of my reasoning on why I think Kyler Murray sucks. Because, like, he doesn't have a brain, so he can't read a playbook. So, like, his brain only comprehends COD. You know? So, I think you have a pretty good idea of who we're going to take this week on Thursday Night Rinse. We're going to take the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes, sir. We're going to take the Seattle Seahawks. They really did lay an ass whooping on the Saints, but as Tim was saying, you know, a lot of special teams. Sam Darnold had all right game, but it doesn't really tell us anything. The Saints are on a dark, dark journey to 0-17, so just bet against them all year. James Conner's out indefinitely, so that's a big L. He was like one good person on the offense, but even he was having a mid-season, so we'll see what their backup does. The important thing about this game, though, is that the Seahawks did drop a game to the 49ers. So this is an important game for the division as a whole. They dropped a game to the 49ers early in the season, so now they got to really win this divisional game on the road. And I think they can do it. So we're going to take the Seahawks for that one. Let's go Seahawks, man. We love them. With that, we're getting to a real rinse, an overseas rinse.
Another one.
God, dude, they're really pushing the overseas stuff this season, especially. They have so many games, and they're all at like 8 a.m. Just a real rinse. Some of us like to stay out late on a Saturday night. They make me wake up at 8 a.m. to study. Come on. Interesting game coming into it. We don't know if J.J. McCarthy's going to play. Carson Wentz was able to manage the offense enough that he didn't rinse. Defense took care of the rest against the Bengals. Do they have that kind of game again against the Steelers? I don't know. Steelers forced a lot of turnovers last week, too. My question, though, is if Jake Browning on the Bengals made the defense look any better than they really were.
Yeah.
But you got to say, too, forced fumbles. That's not all Jake Browning.
No.
That's not all Jake Browning. Jamar Chase dropped one. Triple Crown winner. So, you know, shit happens. Maybe the Vikings D is legit. Aaron is looking like whatever. almost rinsed hard against the Patriots. Who's to say? Who's to say with Aaron? The jury's still out on Aaron. Like I said, this is the final week of NFL preseason because now they're actually all playing.
Yep.
So I think that's a big reason why we saw a ton of rinses last week.
Yeah.
It's just preseason football until next week. So we're really all just stabbing in the dark on some of these games, especially when they're playing in fucking Dublin. That being said, Vikings defense is looking a lot more sturdy than the Steelers, so we're going to rock with them against a lackluster Steelers offense.
Yeah. Steelers only put up 21 points on the Patriots last week, and they really only win that game because the Patriots sold and couldn't hold a football. And then Drake May threw it away in the red zone, So they had 5 turnovers. A couple of them were at the goal line, which isn't how you win football games in this league. Newsflash, Drake May and Mike Vrabel. But we'll get to them later. Minnesota's defense, it showed out. It didn't even give Carson Wentz time to sell.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had like 170 yards or something. I mean, congrats, Carson Wentz. I mean, that's just a product of a really great defense and cock. And, Aaron's playing okay. My MVP take from week 1 is maybe getting stale.
Yeah.
But I have faith. I have faith in Aaron still. However, we think that this defense is legit. That's our thought. I mean, you hold the Bears to nothing. You don't allow Penix to score a touchdown. We'll get to Penix later, And then Jake Browning. So is Aaron going to fool us? Maybe. We don't see it happening this week, though. Like Carm said, we're going to ride with the purple and gold here in Dublin, which, Nick, I know we brought up the Brazil rinse in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are in week 4 going to Ireland. I mean, isn't this a rinse too?
Yeah, I think so. As much as I want to say that it's going to be a good, fair game, I mean, we're playing in a different time zone completely on a different continent, just like the last game. I think it really depends is if the Vikings defense shows up like they've been showing, or if the Steelers can kind of pull together and have Aaron rest on the skills he's developed through all the years of football to actually bring it all the way home.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that Aaron Rodgers plays historically well against.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A lot of reps against this team.
Could be a rinse.
It could be. But I don't know if he's really played this rendition of the Vikings defense.
No, he hasn't. The Vikings defense is legit.
I don't know
this
if
year.
Flores was a DC in Aaron's last years in Minnesota in Green Bay, but maybe we need to do more research for here on the Sunday script, and we definitely will. So we apologize for that.
Yeah, but anyway,
we're gonna roll out of Ireland, and we're gonna get into Chargers at Giants. Disclaimer: when we wrote the script, Russell Wilson was gonna start.
Not anymore.
But not anymore because JSF just start fart.
Just start fart, baby.
Fart's getting pushed out there. So he's going to make his presence felt? Probably not,
Jackson
actually.
Fart. We were calling for him, dude.
Listen. I've been calling for Jackson Fart for a while now.
We were calling for him. I said Russ bought himself some runway. Runway dried up.
Yeah, but we don't really think it's going to matter. This Chargers team is legit. This Chargers defense is legit. Russ hung in there with the Chiefs for the first half in their last game. I know Russ isn't starting, but last game-wise for the Giants, right? So they hung in there, and they only held the Chiefs to 22. That's a whole nother conversation when it comes to the Chiefs, though, right? But even, like we said, even with Fart, I mean, this Chargers team is, their quarterback got sacked 5 times last week, but is still winning games. Usually when you get sacked that much, you're not winning a game because those are drive killers for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But with Sherbert and Harbaugh, you can kind of do what you want and get away with a win. Last second win there, but against a division opponent. And then they just go into Jersey and, unless the field at MetLife rinses Sherbert's ACL, like it has for others in the past, I don't see the Chargers losing this game at all. We're going to take the Bolts in New Jersey this week in week 4.
Yeah, taking the Chargers on the road in New Jersey. Sherbert's elite, dude. I told you, week 1, Sherbert was going to ball out. Rainbow Sherbert is doing it. -2 on the turnover differential for the Chargers last week. They were still able to squeak one off.
Yeah.
Old man Keenan too, geriatric, having a day. Back to the Giants, like Tim was saying, we were picking our picks for the week and find out that JSF, they just started Fart. That's an interesting development. I'm excited to see. There's been a lot of hype around this kid saying, Ben Truss, get this kid in here.
Yeah,
Let's see what he does.
It's definitely more entertaining for all of us to just not watch Russell Wilson
Yeah.
next week. It gives us
Yeah.
a storyline. It gives us some quarterback stuff to watch.
Well, you know what I said, though? I said that they should have started him sooner because now his first game is against a nasty Chargers team.
Yeah.
So welcome to the NFL, Jackson. Let's see what you get if you get it done. We're not thinking so, though.
No.
I think the Chargers defense are going to shut down a rookie quarterback. Derbert's going to ball out on a shoddy Giants defense.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. This isn't going to be a big stinky fart. This is going to be a little wimpy, too.
Yeah. Easy Chargers at the Giants. With that, we're going to get into...
Carm, do we even want to talk about this or just give our pick and move on?
Oh, man.
We'll talk about it a little bit. I'll let you go ahead.
We'll give our...
I'll give you your space. Go ahead.
We'll give our condolences because the road is treacherous.
Yeah.
The 0-17 Saints, the road continues for you, gentlemen. I'm sorry to say, it's a perilous journey, but you'll get through it. Just play some football. You got the Bills coming into town, and the Saints are going to march out, I think. I got nothing else to say about that game, dude. The Bills are minus 1,600. If they lose, then that's just a fucking rinse.
Yeah.
That's just a rinse.
It sounds
if the
like
Bills
I've turned
lose.
you onto my side about the
Yeah.
0-17 Saints. And the
Yeah.
path does continue for you this
Yeah.
week. Little baby rattle and baby food eater Kellen Moore running around. If the Seahawks beat you like that, watch out. This might be a 70-0 game.
Yeah.
75, 90 points on the board. The Bills might not be stopped once.
I mean-
Josh Allen might be pulled from this game at half. The Bills aren't going to punt the ball. I mean, Rattler might put up 9 points, maybe 14, garbage time. We might see Tyler Shuck this week. And, the Saints, man, it's one of the worst teams I've watched in a while. We could have turned off that Seahawks game last week and Saints game. And
Dude, I looked over, and it was just 21 points.
Right
away.
away.
In the first quarter, I was like, what
right away.
happened?
Shout out Seahawks special teams like we said. But
Yeah. But one more thing on that game. People felt the same way about the Packers last week, and they rinsed too.
This isn't the
so
same.
so
No, this isn't the
any
same.
given Sunday.
No, this isn't the same.
Any
The
given
Saints don't have
Sunday.
Myles Garrett. At least the Browns have Myles Garrett. Let's put it that way.
All right.
Let's put it that way.
Well,
but with
good
that,
luck, Saints.
you have a pretty good idea who we're going to take here on the Sunday
Yeah.
script.
taking the
We're taking the Bills. But let's move on to a tight one here that we debated for some time. This was a topic of discussion in the Sunday script group chat this week. Eagles at Buccaneers in Tampa. So Baker with another late game comeback, although he shouldn't have had to. Lucky Jets play there. But, sure, it's great that Baker's pulling off these great fourth quarter comebacks, but, we'd like to see you kind of win by like 3 scores or something at some point, You should have beat down on the Jets. I understand that the defense kind of gave it away, but keep putting points up. We're not high on the Jets at all this year, and we're really high on the Bucs, but Ibuka looks legit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something
Very
we were
good.
really saying earlier in the season or kind of predicting, but it's come to fruition for sure, and it helps when you have a Hall of Famer on the other side of the field, and Mike Evans too. Godwin might come back this week. I don't know how much of an impact he can have at his age with his injury history, but Tristan Wirfs might be back too, and Eagles pull off that insane comeback, right? I mean, the Eagles are still the Eagles; they're finding ways to win games, but I think Todd Bowles will bring the pressure, but the Eagles passing game got going.
Yeah.
It got going there.
Big time.
I just don't like the fact that Baker's been winning these games in this close fashion, like the way he is. And I think the Eagles are, I guess, a better, well-ran team right now at the moment. So I think we're going to fly again this week. 4-0 for the Eagles. Going into Tampa Bay, getting a win here.
This is an interesting
Yeah,
game.
this is tough.
Baker's hot, but he's hot in the last minute of the game. It's also combined record opponents are 1-8 on the season. However, interesting game that they had last week with the Jets in the division. But this game could go either way.
Yeah.
With the Eagles, I think that the Eagles are just a step ahead of all the competition that Baker's faced so far.
Yeah.
However, Todd Bowles and Nick Sirianni, Todd Bowles kind of owns Nick Sirianni. He's won like 7 of their last 10 matchups. So it's very possible the Bucks have the clientele where they could just outcoach Nick Sirianni and shut him down.
Yeah.
And the Bucks could squeak one away. But on the season, like I said, I don't think that they played the competition that the Eagles have. Yes, the Cowboys are a rinse, but the Eagles have played stiffer competition. As Tim was saying, the passing game came back for the Eagles in a big way when they needed it. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, both came back really hard in that second half.
Yeah, you're welcome for that A.J. Brown prediction too last week on the Sunday Script.
Yeah, Tim did say that. Breakout game.
Yep.
Took him a half of football, but breakout game for him.
That's okay.
Big time.
Yeah.
Another Tay touchdown for you as well.
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go. They got all types of weapons, dude. People see Puka as all the yards, and they got other weapons. Oh, I'm fucking retarded. Sorry, Puka's on the other team. Whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield, though, they're both ice cold, man. I think that just the championship experience for the Eagles is gonna drive them to a victory here. I think the Eagles have faced stiffer competition, and also Baker Mayfield playing with his hand a little bit. Here's a little tidbit for you. He was tweaking with his hand a little bit at the end of that game and ended up dropping the football twice. Baker Mayfield, undisclosed hand injury.
Maybe.
That could play into it.
You heard it here first on the Sunday Script. We don't have the official injury reports, but
we peep shit like that because we watch all the games.
Yes, we do.
So we're going with the Falcons right there. Next up, semi-rinse, I would say. This is a semi-rinse. Commanders versus the Falcons. Jaden Daniels is still questionable. So we don't know if it's going to be Mariota starting, most likely.
Yeah.
He held down the fort, though. He held down the fort against what is turning out to be, I'm sorry, Eugene, a fucking rinse Raiders team. The Raiders are not looking good this year.
No.
And Eugene is not helping them. Don't let his stats fool you. He threw a lot of garbage time shit last week. And the Raiders defense signed Max Crosby all that money. Let up 41 points. Or is Marcus Mariota elite? I don't think so.
Probably not.
But I think he can hold down the fort. Penix, on the other hand, finally threw another passing touchdown to the Panthers.
To the other team. Yeah. Yeah.
So Penix, I'll give him one more week. The jury's out on him, though. He's got to show me something against the Commanders. He showed us nothing against the Panthers. So I think the Commanders are going to come in on the road and be able to, play enough defense, keep Penix out of the end zone. He hasn't shown it. 1 touchdown. And go with the Commanders.
Penix absolutely rinsed us last week. We took the Falcons last week, and then you get shut out to the Panthers, 30-0. Give me a break, dude. You only have 1 touchdown on the year, too.
Yeah.
I think he has 1 rushing touchdown as well, but you get paid to throw the ball, not run it. And, I mean, the Commanders have played well this year, but, you beat down on the Raiders, who we'll get into later. You get shit on by the Packers, and then you don't really beat down on the Giants. So we're in a little bit of a Commander limbo here. We're not really sure on how we feel about them either. Week 4 is kind of opening that realm up of, is this team good? Are they bad? Right? So the more we learn, the smarter we get. But, like I said, Jaden Daniels or Marcus Mariota, we're going to take the Commanders here regardless. I think we got to see more from Penix. And until we do, we're just going to ride with the other team until we see that. So, but with that, we're going to get into an AFC South matchup, the Texans versus the Titans. So the Texans have turned into one of those sleeper teams to watch this year for sure. Snooze fest, low-scoring games, awful quarterback play, great defense. Fantastic defense.
Yeah, good defense. It's a shame.
Fantastic defense. Me being a Bears fan, I'm used to that. Fantastic defense, awful quarterback. So CJ Stroud glaze, has it ended officially? I've been calling for it for some time now here on the Sunday Script, and we thank you for watching me do that. But the Titans can't even stop the Colts at all last week. They let Danny Dimes stat pad all over them, which he's great at doing.
Yeah, he is great at doing that.
Jonathan Taylor running all over the place, right? So Nick Chubb could have a better game for the Texans this week. I mean, but is this a trap game? No, I don't think so. Tennessee has a really bad roster and they still have a rookie quarterback. So we're gonna take the Texans here. I don't think they go 0-4. I think that's too big of a hole for them to dig out of. But this is a get right game for them for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty good. I was thinking, the Titans were tantalizing me. I wanted to maybe ride with CJ or Cam Ward, sorry. But CJ's not looking great, man. CJ's looking really lost in the new offense. They can't really get anything going, and their run game isn't helping that out. There's no threat of a run against the Texans right now. So CJ's going to pass the ball. He looks lost in the new offense, and they're not putting up any points, which is a real shame because the defense is actually looking very good. All that being said, I think this game is going to come a lot closer than most people think. I think that the Titans might want to show out a little bit, tell people that they're still a professional football team that not everyone's going to beat. So it could be close, but I think that the Texans defense is a lot more talented than people give it credit for, and that Cam Ward's gonna have a tough time.
Yeah, did you see how many people were at that game in Tennessee?
No,
nobody.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Empty stadium in Tennessee last week for that Colts Titans game.
That's a shame.
Empty
because that team's trying to rebuild.
Well, it's because they know that the product on the field is dog. So
yeah, but they're trying to rebuild. Come support your young quarterback.
Yeah,
give him a break.
You would think.
Give him a break. That's what I'd say. Shout out to Cam Ward, but we're picking the Texans on that game.
Yeah.
With that, getting into the Browns-Lions. All right, here's
trap
some
game.
Here's some. Is it another trap game? Because here's some NFL math for you. Okay. So, the Browns beat the Packers last week.
Yeah,
in a complete rinse.
Yeah.
The Ravens lost to the Lions last night.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions got shit on by the Packers.
Yep.
The Ravens are alleged Super Bowl contenders. So does that mean that the Browns to the Super Bowl?
No, because the Ravens shit on them 41-10.
Well, maybe.
But they're not playing them. They're playing the Lions this week.
They're playing the Lions this week, and I think Jared Goff system QB, but he's a damn good one.
Yeah,
he's a damn good one, man. Their run game was crazy, but dude, that touchdown pass to Amon-Ra, textbook. Looking beautiful, Jared Goff. I think that Jared Goff's gonna slice up this defense. I think they just got a lot of film on what not to do from the fucking Packers. And they're gonna go out there and have their way with the fucking terrible Browns offense.
Yeah,
that got still won.
Yeah.
So Browns, shit on the Packers, man. That's tough, but they have zero offense. I think I think the Lions will take this one.
Yeah,
Lions are at home too.
We're still down on the Browns, of course.
Yeah.
And, of course, the Browns come back and really only win that game because of a blocked kick. So how many blocked kicks are the Browns going to have this year to win them games, right?
Who's to say?
But if the Lions can run the ball like that all year.
Scary.
Yeah, like really scary.
Scary.
They will be a tough out if they can keep running the ball like that with those two. Mm-hmm. And then you still have Amon-Ra running around, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta, the whole Lions spiel, I guess. And the whole Ben Johnson thing and Aaron Glenn thing has been put to rest.
Yeah. It was all Dan Gamble all along.
It was all Dan Gamble. I think they didn't wipe their drives clean. And they left. And then the coordinators got on the computers for the coordinators and were like, oh my God, they didn't delete their drive. Let's just use the same plays. I'm convinced that's what happened.
Probably.
When that comes out, you heard it here first on the Sunday Script. Just to let you know. And we're still down on the Browns. Joe Flacco's a statue. I think Hutch gets to him a couple times.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty easy pick for us. Even though it was an easy pick for us last week, we're not going to make that. That mistake's not going to happen twice, I don't think. We're going to take the Lions next week. Next week for sure.
The Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to move us into we kind of discussed this a little bit. It kind of might be a rinse, but this might be a trap, we think. Panthers at the Patriots here.
I think this is a rinse.
So the Panthers luck into Penix throwing them the ball, like
Yeah.
we said earlier, the whole game. Bryce didn't even have to have a good game.
No.
He didn't even really play that well. But the problem is the Panthers have no pass rush at all. Penix was just throwing the ball away. Should that give Drake May time to throw his ball to his lack of weapons, his non-existent weapons? Sure. When you give a quarterback time, it doesn't really matter who their weapons are unless they can't get open, which is another discussion when it comes to the Patriots. But the Drake May glaze, ridiculous. I mean, if any other quarterback made that throw in the end zone like that to not score, they'd be getting ridiculed all day. But for some reason, the Drake May glaze continues. I don't get it. But we're going to take the better QB in this matchup, I think, which is still Drake May. So we're going to route the Patriots here.
Yeah, take the Patriots on that one. I don't see as much Drake May glaze as he does. I do my fucking studying too. I don't see it. My advice to bettors this week is to not be fooled by the Panthers last week. They're still bad. They are. Bryce Young, 1 garbage time touchdown. He had 1 regular touchdown, rushing, not passing. And they scored a garbage time touchdown. Don't be fooled by 30 points. Don't be a box score enthusiast and say, "Oh, I actually watched the fucking game. They're bad still.
Yeah.
Penix is just worse."
Yeah.
Okay. The Patriots can actually score. We've seen it. They're not the best at it, but they can do it. Drake May's all right. He's getting things done. And most importantly, the Patriots were very much in a football game that they lost 5 turnovers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So Drake May did what he could with a lot of rinsing. 5 turnovers is not going to win you any football games, and they didn't. I don't think the Panthers are going to generate 5 turnovers on the Patriots. Not at home. So we're going to lock in the Patriots. But our buddy Nick was leaning toward the Panthers while we were discussing. And I'm just wondering, do they got the hot hand right now? Is it some recency bias, or do you think there's something going on down there?
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's because the Panthers are able to get those consistent points. I mean, depending on how you want to look at it, defense scoring, offense scoring, they've been consistently scoring over 25 points. And 25 points these days will win you football games. Opposed to the Patriots, which are kind of streaky. They'll have a good game, and then they won't crack 20 on others. And then to round it all off, the Patriots haven't done anything since Tom Brady left. I mean, it's pretty obvious. There's nothing big in their future. Their head coach had nothing in him. It was all Tom Brady. And now Tom Brady's complaining about other people playing football opposed to his own team. So I think I personally thought it was a sure bet that the Panthers would take it home this week.
All right. Well, that's a good one. Thanks, Nick. The Panthers are not winning this game. We already locked in the Patriots.
You might have persuaded me a little bit, Nick.
I don't think so. Don't listen to them.
Tad bit, but that's
Don't
because I
listen to
think
them.
Nick's right about the Drake May glaze and the Patriots.
The Patriots have not done anything since
But
Brady left.
enough
But whatever.
Enough about the Patriots.
Oh, yes. Enough about the Patriots, because this is my favorite game of the week coming up right here. The final week of preseason. It's finally come. Speaking of the glaze, the Daniel Jones glaze is going to be over. He's going to get fraud checked, and it's going to be great. I'm fucking over the whole Indianapolis Jones saga. I think he's all right. I think he manages the game. I think they played some really bad football teams, and he has looked nothing special, and I think JT is really fucking good. They're going to play a legit team this year. They're going to play a real legit team this week, excuse me. The Rams were looking really good. They kind of fell apart toward the end of that Eagles game. Some special teams rinses, but they're going to be at home. They're going to be coming off that pre-playoff game. But yeah, Stat Padford is going to do what Stat Padford does.
Yeah.
He's going to pad those stats against them. I mean, I haven't heard too much noise from the Colts defense except shutting out bad teams.
Yep.
And then, they played the Broncos, which is allegedly a good offense, let up a bunch of points. So what do you think Stat Padford's going to do? 500 yards? Let's go Stat Padford. Yeah, so with that, I was saying earlier, Tay got some grabs when we're talking about the Eagles. Tay, Puka's still number 1, WR1. He's carrying that team pretty well himself. Offense is looking good. We've been, harping on how legit their defense is. Offense has been looking good. I think they're going to shut down Indianapolis Jones.
Yeah, so the Colts are coming off this 3-0 start. Let's take a look back at how they got to 3-0. They beat the Dolphins, who were awful.
Terrible.
Ref ball with the
Ref
Broncos.
ball.
And
So
then you
much
beat the
ref ball.
Titans. And then everyone is saying, oh my God, 3-0 Colts. Are they for real this year in the AFC? Newsflash, they're not. I'm with Carm on this. It's Daniel Jones. He'll come down to earth eventually, I think. Unless he was fixed by cock.
Yeah.
It's the only possibility that, makes him as good as he is right now. But the Rams are a real team. They haven't played a real team this year. We're down on Denver. We'll get into them later, but Denver hasn't been playing up to its ability.
I'm
at
not
all.
that down on Denver. But I agree with that.
I am. But I don't think Jim Irsay makes the trip out to LA spiritually, because physically he can't do that anymore because he's deceased. But, this will be the first game against a real opponent, like I said. Carm said Devontae's back. Devontae's back. He might as well be in green and gold, but he's in blue and gold now because Devontae is back. Puka's always dialed. And Stat Padford's going to keep inflating his stats.
Yeah.
And we mean that in a good way. That's jokingly. He doesn't really do that anymore.
I don't honestly,
That was a Megatron thing. That's all that was when he was on the Lions. He would just heave balls up to Megatron and then have to come back because they were so bad.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been Stat Padford since he's been on the Rams. But it's a great nickname, so we're going to keep it.
Yeah. Sorry about it. We love you.
Yeah, but we're going to take the Colts. I mean, sorry, excuse me.
What are you? Yeah. What are you?
We're gonna take the Rams this week. Do not take the Colts. We're gonna take the Rams.
Yeah, take the fucking Rams.
This is pretty much an easy pick for us. And Vegas is fooling all you bozos that want to click the plus 200. You see the plus 200 and you just get so horny to click it.
Yeah, you get.
I'll be right about this, dog. Colts are good. Sorry, not gonna happen.
About it.
You heard it here first on the Sunday Script.
Yeah.
But with that, we're gonna get into a word from one of our ad sponsors, Sentence Enhancers.
This episode of the Sunday Script is brought to you by Sentence Enhancers. Words are tools. Some cut deep and other build bridges. In this book, it'll help you recognize new words to use, as well as help you improve your communication both at work and in everyday life. Buy Sentence Enhancers now on Amazon.
With that, we're going to get into Jacksonville at San Francisco. Jacksonville cross-country flight over there to the 49ers. So the Jags come out and they win this close divisional game against the Texans. The defense came up with some big plays, but how much of that is C.J. Stroud? That's, one of our main questions, I think, going into this game. They've been in every game, right? They rout the Panthers week 1.
Mm-hmm.
They were in that Bengals game, and they were in that Texans game until the end, and they end up winning that one. But Trevor Lawrence is going to find a way to ruin this game, I think, again. He puts the ball in harm's way a lot, and he should have got picked off a couple times more than he did, last week. And Sock Dirty should be back for the Niners. Allegedly. But even if it was Michael McCorkle, I would still want to lead towards the 49ers. I just feel like they're just a better overall cohesive football team. I know that's some football jargon and it makes no sense, but they're more disciplined, and I think that they're better coached at this point. And I think since they're at home, I think this could be a close game, but Trevor Lawrence will probably throw it away or fumble or get sacked on a game-winning drive. And I think that leads us to ride with the Niners this week.
Yeah, the Niners, I think, just like Tim was saying, football jargon, but they just slightly edge out the Jaguars in terms of like legitimacy, cohesion. They're a historic franchise, they know how to win football games, and they don't really lose, the easy ones. That being said, it's not going to be a super easy one against the Jags. The Jags defense looks pretty good, and Nick Bosa is out on their defense. ACL tear. He's going to be out for the season.
Yeah, he's been hurt for. He's always hurt.
Yeah, but that's one less person pushing Trevor Lawrence to rinse.
Yeah, that is true.
all pro. So Trevor Lawrence is going to have more time to rinse in the pocket, like I was saying. He needs to stop throwing picks, man. He needs to stop throwing picks. Is that a receiver issue? Maybe. But he needs to stop it because his defense is keeping him in these games, and he's losing them. ETN needs to have a big game against the Niners if they want to win. With McCorkle playing, I was initially leaning a little bit towards the Jaguars myself. I don't think McCorkle can really put up points.
He's done a good job stepping in, though.
Yeah. The issue is now, though, McCorkle is banged up. Knee injury, limping last week. Is Sock Dirty getting the start? I think so. It's more likely than not. They kind of have no choice. If they're going to play with injured Purdy or injured McCorkle, who do you pick? So we'll see what happens with that.
Has anyone
this could be a rinse?
Has anyone questioned the training staff there yet? Like, what are they feeding them? Like,
yeah, they get.
Has anyone questioned the nutritionist and the training
time.
staff? What are they doing with them, and what are they feeding those boys? Because they're hurt all the time.
Yeah.
So
they're hurt a lot.
That's a deeper issue than just luck, I think.
Yeah, maybe conspiracy. Who's to say?
We're not one to come up.
That
with
being
conspiracies.
said, I think the Niners just like I said earlier, better football team all around. So we're gonna lock them in with the Jags coming into their house. With that, we're gonna move into the Bears at the Raiders. Another traveling game. These two teams have not looked great in the entirety of the season. The Bears looked really good. So are the Bears back? Or are the Cowgirls frauds? I don't know. I think it's a mix of both. I think the Bears looked pretty good last week against not the best team, but they were throwing in some trickery. And off of that, I hate to say it. I'm sorry, Packers. Rome Odunze is legit, dude. That dude is for real. He's having a great year. Seems like the only guy that Caleb ever wants to get the ball to. But maybe that's just because he's open. I think he's fucking good. I think he's going to have a great career avoiding injury, hopefully. Eugene looks like he had a solid bounce back game if you are a box score enthusiast.
Yeah. Which we don't like on the Sunday script.
Yeah. Eugene was a lot of garbage time last week. So he looks like like 300 yards and a couple touchdowns or something. Garbage time. So we're not super confident in Eugene and their run game with Ashton Genty. We thought he was going to be better. I think he will be with some time to develop, which is interesting because the Raiders and the Bears have some of the worst ranked run defenses in the NFL, with a Bears team who's also got a non-existent run game. DeAndre Swift was not looking like he knew how to run downhill last week, but it didn't matter because they were just getting it done with Caleb in the pass game. So they didn't really need it, but maybe they will. Maybe not. Raiders defense isn't great either.
Yeah.
But the Bears got the hot hand right now. I think things finally clicked a little bit with Ben Johnson. So we're going to rock with them on the road, see if they can carry the momentum. Sorry, Pack, but got to do what's good for the bag.
Yeah, the Bears are back. I never had any doubt. Caleb's legit. Caleb is, he was deserving of that number 1 overall pick, and he's legit and so good. I'd never had any doubt. I've always rode with the Bears. I'm a ride or die. I never decided to maybe change fan bases to the Bucs or anything.
No, you'd never.
No, I would never do that. But in all seriousness, okay. Geno hasn't been playing that well. This could be an Ashton Genty breakout game. It could be. But, Chip Kelly is really bad at calling an offense. I don't know why he got another job. So if Geno can distribute, like we said kind of in week 1 when we picked them, if Geno can distribute the ball to Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty can get involved in like the pass game maybe for once, then the Raiders could come out and win this game. But I think we got to ride with the hot hand here and take another week of Caleb and the Ben Johnson offense, a better week, and build off that cohesion. Because this isn't just, it's weird. This isn't like, oh, Caleb. It's Ben and Caleb. It's like a weird marriage. When they both succeed, it's like, oh, Ben and Caleb, Ben and Caleb. So if they can come out on offense and do what they did last week against a bad defense, then they'll win this game, I think. So I think you have a pretty good idea of who we're going to take here on the Sunday Script. The first time we take the Bears.
Yeah.
This year on the Sunday Script. And Nick, with that.
Are the Bears back?
Yeah, Nick, are the Bears back or what?
I don't want to get my hopes up, to be completely honest. I don't want them to break my heart again. It seems like the Bears held the momentum really, really well last week, and they rode it all the way to the win. But I'm not very happy with the offensive line. Like you were saying, Swift just couldn't get the yards. He could maybe get 3 or 4, at times 5. And I mean, until we have like a good run game from the offense, I don't think the Bears are anything to get excited about. The good news is, though, there's still a lot of football left. So Ben Johnson and Caleb could be working together to try to get the game together so that they're not as in dire situations as they were at the beginning of the season. But hopefully by the end of it, we'll see a solid team that we can kind of root for next year.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I agree. He did get sacked 0 times last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to get my
But
hopes up.
they just
And a
rinsed
lot of that
Parsons.
DeAndre Swift is him dancing around in the backfield.
DeAndre Swift
He doesn't ever
is
penetrate the
not
gaping
good.
hole
Okay.
when he should. And
He should.
He just dances around.
He does dance around. He's not decisive.
But I
when
do
the
agree
hole
with you,
is
Nick.
there.
We don't want to get our hopes up.
No, you can't. Because
No.
at the end of the day, they are
Because at
still
the end of the day, they're still the
poverty
Bears, and they're going to,
Yeah.
and we're going to have fun for one
But
Sunday.
they played really well
and come
last
back
week.
down
I'll
to
say
earth.
that.
They did play really well.
All right.
But this is an interesting game we're going to get into here.
After the
Yeah. After what happened last week.
Monday night.
After what happened on
football.
Monday Night Football with Lamar.
Yeah.
Once again, the good old-fashioned Lamar rinse. We get Lamar and Patrick Mahomes. A classic AFC matchup at this point now. The Chiefs are at home and underdogs, which is crazy. I don't think we ever would have thought that going
Could
into
be
the
a
season that
trap.
the Chiefs would ever be underdogs at home, right?
No.
But they are. And so the Cowboys, this is a little NFL math for you here too, okay? The Cowboys should have beaten up on the Giants, and then we took them to beat the Bears.
Yeah.
The Chiefs should have beat the Giants, it should have looked like that Seahawks game. Should have. It should have. But it didn't. So Mahomes has no one to throw to. Travis Kelce is washed. He's crying. He's getting in his coach's face, screaming at him. Probably because he's getting screamed at by his fiance. So you say exert all that anger onto his head coach. But, I mean, it's still the Chiefs, though. So if they end up starting 1-3 and the Chargers are 4-0, that's going to be a tough hole for them to dig out of. But they can always dig themselves out of a hole. I mean, they got Mahomes.
Yeah.
But
Saw it week 1.
with that, we still think the Ravens are just a more explosive offense. And we're going to take the Ravens here to go into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs.
Yeah. I think that the Ravens will do it. I think Lamar's got a pretty bad record against Mahomes, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course he does.
But Mahomes finds a way to win. Derrick Henry back-to-back fumbles, dude. Fumble Rooski. What are you doing, man? Mega rinse on 2 of them against the Bills and against the Lions last week. The Ravens were very much in that game until that point. That was a very interesting game to watch. But, honestly, people are blaming Derrick Henry. I think that Aiden Hutchinson made a great play.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry fumbled the ball. It happens. He's coming around the blind side, gets the ball punched out by a 6'8" defender. Shit happens. It's the NFL. I think Aiden Hutchinson made the play. I think that, honestly, do not pay attention to the box score. Lamar Jackson had a, on paper, very good game. 21 for 27, 3 touchdowns. Lamar rinsed.
Yeah. Don't tell that to the box score enthusiasts, or else they'll sob.
We've seen it. We've seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen it so many times. It's the old-fashioned Lamar rinse. He's got no clutch genes to him. So yeah, they had opportunities to be in a position where a Derrick Henry fumble wouldn't matter. A Derrick Henry fumble on your 20-yard line against an offense that's been cranking all night, So they rinsed that game pretty bad, I think. I think they need to tighten up, but I think the Chiefs are just no offense at all. The Chiefs aren't going to come out looking like the Lions did.
No.
No. And I think Derrick Henry's going to, sit on this one and be like, I need to get my act together. I think Lamar's going to say, we're 1-2 now. I need to win some games. And they're going to come in and beat up the
both of them.
Yeah, both of them. Both of them are going to step it up big time. No turnovers. And I think that the Ravens defense, they're kind of bad, but they'll suffice against what's not really the best Chiefs offense right now outside of Mahomes. But Mahomes will always keep you in the game, but we got to lock in the Ravens, excuse me. With that, oh wait, you were talking about Travis Kelce crying.
Yeah.
What about what is it being engaged, Nick, to Taylor Swift?
That ruins men.
Yeah, like is he bad now because of that?
Yeah, is it a coincidence, Nick?
Oh man, this is a tough spot to be in. As a Taylor Swift fan, it's obviously very difficult for me to be like, this is the situation, but I mean, sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. It's looking very obvious that at least until they got to the last Super Bowl, at the last Super Bowl, we could see Travis Kelce just not wanting to play, not wanting to show up, not being the regular force on the field he is. And now in this season, I mean, I don't know if he's more worried about his podcast numbers or what the wedding plans are, but I think it's it for Kelce. I think this is his last year.
Yeah,
I think so too. I think it's a culmination of both those things: the podcast, Taylor Swift,
all of it.
Yeah,
all
of it.
it.
And you know what we like to say? Fuck a Swiftie, I'm a Scriptie.
That is what we say now.
That is what we say.
We love you, Scripties.
We love you, Scripties.
With that, we are getting into the actually the Packers versus the Cowboys. Well, I'll be the first to say it. The Packers shit the fucking bed big time, dude. That was an embarrassment. I think they just got complacent and fucking lost themselves that game. No excuses. That was terrible. Love got sacked 5 times. Right tackle, left guard injured. That's a rinse. Cowboys also shit the bed. They were expected to win that game. In hindsight, I don't know why. Cowboys suck ass. But that being said, I think the Packers going to bounce back. But, I mean, we'll see. That was abysmal. So, that's that.
Yeah. The thing about the Packers is their special teams always seems to fuck it up. No matter who the quarterback is, no matter who the head coach is, different special teams coordinators, different players, completely different players, right?
Yeah.
And they somehow find a way to shank a kick, get a blocked field goal, muff a punt.
Every time.
Get a blocked punt, something along those lines. Weird. Generational quarterback talent, but poverty special teams talent. And it's 3 levels. There's 3 levels of football, 3 phases. There's 3 phases of football, and every single phase helps you win a Super Bowl. But I don't think this doesn't bring any issues with us thinking the Packers are still a Super Bowl contender or could win the NFC. I think this is just, a little shit stain on their season.
It's just the Cleveland steamer, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. And especially because you get to go into Dallas and Micah gets to go back and see Jura.
Yeah, Micah might have like
Michael's gonna have a great
Parsons.
game. He's gonna get to go see his good friend Jura. And Eberlus is just playing the weakest zone ever. I mean, stick us 3 out there and we could just sit in a zone and pay us millions. I mean, you're not going to play man against the Bears. And
I'll sign for the league minimum.
Weapons. Yeah. I'll sign for the league minimum for sure. I could be a practice squad player any day of the week. But Cowboys looked awful against the Bears. Packers are better than the Bears. We've been saying it. NFL math. It doesn't even matter if CD plays. I think the Packers defense will just eat up Dak, right? And like we said, this doesn't really influence our decision on if the Packers are going to be really good or not this year. So we're going to ride with the Packers this week for sure on Sunday Night Football in Week 4. And that takes us into the rinse of the week here on the Sunday Script. For some reason, they're giving ESPN 2 more games on Monday night.
I hate that.
I hate it
so
too.
much.
I hate it too because
So
usually the
much.
problem is I don't mind Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, but the second cast is usually shit. Like it's usually
Oh.
some no-name broadcaster than Orshlovsky, and I'd rather not. I'd rather just listen. I'd rather get one game and listen to Aikman and Buck.
Yeah.
People who actually know about football and not Dan Orshlovsky who ran out of the back of the fucking end zone. So, besides the point there. The Jets are going into Miami to face the Dolphins in an AFC East matchup here. Some good divisional games, not really, but some okay divisional games this
It's a
week.
divisional game.
It is. That doesn't mean it's a good one. So the Jets almost beat the Bucks on that lucky special teams play. I don't know why the Bucks let him in it. Tyrod. It's Tyrod, not Tyrod. Also,
Is it?
yeah, Baker informed us of that. Thanks, Baker. Tyrod played okay. He still is going to play better than Justin Fields. Will Justin Fields be back? We don't know yet, but that doesn't
He
really.
shouldn't be.
He shouldn't
if
be.
is.
I mean, yeah, he needs to take
He's got
another week.
concussion.
He got rocked.
Yeah.
That neck
Take some
back of the head
time
against the
off,
ground.
dude.
Yeah, and that Aaron Glenn defense
End
has
up like
been
the other quarterback.
yeah
Simple Jack.
turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over.
Yeah, and we think that's what he's going to do again this week. We think Tua's going to rinse at some point. Tyreek got his touchdown.
Yeah, so he wasn't sobbing.
So he wasn't sobbing. But the one thing that people aren't talking about here is that it's going to be nighttime in Miami, so it won't be that hot. Usually when you go into Miami in September and you play a day game, the home team can get the better of you there because they're used to it.
Yeah.
So, and they have it designed to where the home team's always in the shade.
No, really?
They do.
How?
They do.
Is
It's
it
the way the
angle?
stadium's designed with
Yeah.
with 1 p.m. starts in South Florida, and then it just
It's just
it's just they're in the shade, and then the away team's in the straight heat.
that's so BM.
I know.
I didn't know that.
I know, but it does. But it's going to be nighttime, like we said. So a little Sunday script weather report for you here. But we're gonna take the Jets this week, who are also underdogs. So this could be the rinse of the week, and we didn't have a dog of the week, but this could be both.
I guess this is our dog of the week because we didn't really have. There's just no
nothing
good dog.
nothing jumped off the page.
No good dogs this week. Like Cowboys last week. Hindsight, obviously 2020, but that was like okay, give me plus 100 Cowboys. But the Jets and Dolphins, this is our dog of the week. Jets could sneak this one out. I anticipate it actually. Like Tim was saying, I anticipate another Tua turn the ball over. Like he rinses, dude. He rinsed against the Bills. They were in that game. The Dolphins, they had an all right game against the Bills on Thursday Night Football. Short week for everyone. They catch the Bills lacking.
Yeah.
Kyreek still is probably gonna sob. And McDaniels, I'm fucking waiting for you, dude. One good game's not gonna save you. That's not gonna save you. So I just think they're disjointed. I think Aaron Glenn, speaking like Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn warmed up with his team last week, even though they lost. They got a good game going. Special teams, like you were saying, all three sides of the ball kept them in that big time. I think anyone else in that situation that's not Baker Mayfield loses that game. I think they would just lose all their motivation, all their drive, and they would choke at the end.
Yeah.
I think Baker Mayfield's that dude. I think otherwise the Jets would win that game. Jets have not looked as bad as their record anticipates, and honestly, I would rather them start Tyrod because I think Tyrod, excuse me, is going to put up a better game than Justin Fields, like Tim was saying last week. You'll get a better game out of him. I think he will.
Yeah.
So we're going to pick the Jets on the road, divisional matchup. Hope it goes our way. With that, we're going to get into the rinse Bengals.
Yeah, thanks, Jake Browning.
yeah.
You made me look like a fucking fool.
Yeah, dude. And the Broncos, the Bengals were atrocious last week.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And we were so wrong about Jake Browning, dude. I mean, the Vikings defense is good, but he made them look so good last week. There's another 5 turnover team like we were talking about earlier. He's not going to get it done for you, man. He's not going to get it done for you.
Yeah.
Their defense is also, not good. Bo Picks probably not going to throw any picks this week. He needs to stop. But he doesn't need to worry because Jake Browning threw some terrible ones. So I'm sure the Broncos defense, which is a lot better than the Bengals defense, is going to, pick him off at some point. If he keeps playing, if he plays how he did against the Vikings, half as bad, dude. They're going to be in for another long game. Yeah. That's all I really got to say with the Broncos. Just Bo picks, stop throwing picks. Their defense should be able to manage Jake Browning, and they'll sneak it out, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was last week, Jake Browning, but like I said, you made me look like a fool. I was riding your wave so hard.
Yeah.
Mopping up your drip,
Yeah.
as Nick would say. But, I mean, you guys looked awful.
Yeah, terrible.
I'm talking to you specifically if you can't tell, Jake Browning. So when you watch week 4 of episode 4 of the Sunday Script here, you'll know I'm talking directly to you. I don't know what the hell that was. And the Broncos, like I said earlier in the Chargers segment, get to Herbert 5 times. So if they get to Herbert 5 times, what the hell are they going to do to Jake Browning next week or this week on Monday Night Football? Might 8 sacks?
Maybe a
little too many. I wonder what the over-under is, but take the over.
Yeah.
Even though we don't touch that stuff, we just take money line parlays here.
Money line parlays.
And I think this is a pretty easy pick for us. We were a little higher on the Bengals and thinking that Browning could take them, a little. He could get them to Joe Burr coming back.
Yeah.
But it seems like their season's over.
Yeah, after that one.
After last week, it seems like their season's over. So we're gonna take the Broncos here. Broncos Nation, let's ride.
Yeah.
So, and with that, as we finish the second Monday night game, thanks ESPN once again, that'll take us into the end of the Week 4 slate in the NFL. As always, I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but hopefully we don't have as many, nail biters and rinses.
Yeah, just a lot of rinses last week. That was
still went 11-16 though.
Yeah.
So
11 for 16.
if you Ron Robin like some of you viewers, you still would have made money.
Yeah.
I know some people are doing that. I know we talked to a scriptie.
A scriptie, yeah,
that
at the
let
bar
us know
last
that
weekend.
that let us know that they were doing that. So
yeah.
With that, we're gonna get into one of your guys' favorite segments. In fact, it's our only segment, so it has to be your favorite segment. But our Week 4 take, it could be a take about a player, a take about the season, or a take about the NFL in general. I know we have a diverse group of opinions here. But before we get into that, we're going to hear an ad reading from one of our sponsors, Woodman's Property Management.
This episode of the Sunday Script is brought to you by Woodman's Property Management. Are you looking for some place to live? Do you want to live in the Midwest? Are you looking for something luxurious while still being affordable? Then Woodman's has the property for you. Go ahead online or down in the link below and check out Woodman's Property Management for all your rental needs.
So my take for Week 4 in the NFL is that the unwarranted Caleb hate needs to stop. I don't want to get too political, so I won't, but all the dudes that are out there hating on a grown man for painting his nails have other opinions that relate to that as well. So to hate a man for painting his nails isn't a good reason to hate a football player in itself. And he comes out 298 yards, 4 touchdowns, but meanwhile, it wasn't Caleb. Caleb can't be the product of his own success. Someone else has to just absolutely suck. So everyone's saying, the Dallas defense is bad. Of course Caleb played well. But if Drake May, Bo Picks, or Jane Daniels were playing that game and had the same numbers, they'd be crowned the best quarterback of that class right away. So in general, the Caleb hate needs to stop because it's not football related at all. Grown men do cry. He's a little too emotional, though. He does need to kind of get that under wraps for sure. You need to change the body posture a little bit, Caleb, but I was never down on you. And like I said, the Caleb hate needs to stop.
All right. Thanks, Tim. My take of the week has to do with the new kickoff that they're doing this year. Touchbacks going out to the 35, and I'll say it's a lot better. It forces teams to run the ball back, kickers to kick it in bounds instead of just booting it in the stands every time. Big step up from the whole like stagnant, touchback, no run backs ever.
Yeah.
That being said, we're getting to the point now, and I noticed it a lot this week because people were getting crushed. Why the fuck did they get rid of the original one? This is literally the original kickoff with extra steps, and people are getting like slightly less concussions because they are not running 10 yards extra to slam into each other. No, they're just slamming into each other with, a 40-yard run up, versus a 50-yard run up. Is it 300-pound, 250-pound, 200-pound dudes? They're running into each other at full speed. They're going to get hurt. You're not going to make it safe. They know what they signed up for. They should just go back to the original at this point. There are going to be children that grow up watching NFL football that have never seen a real kickoff.
That's a great point.
Never
thought of that.
Never. So yeah, it's better this year, but it still sucks. Go back to the original.
And my take this week, I think all the football fans really want to see it. I think we should take a page out of the hockey game, the game book, and I want to see players drop helmets and handle their problems on the field. I mean, just go to the center, 1v1, center of the field, and just hash out their disagreements. I mean, if you believe it, you got to stand for it. And if you're really going to throw smack on wherever on the field, then you should be able to handle it all there. So I think that's my take this week.
Tell them, Nick.
They do get paid a lot. They should be doing that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be.
They're not trying hard.
They're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
It'd make the game more enjoyable. I think everyone knows that.
So with that, we're going to get into the Week 4 rundown here on the Sunday Script. We appreciate you for listening as always. And like I said, this week is a lock. So don't worry. Don't sweat it. We got your back. Thursday night rinse. We're going to take the Seahawks. The Dublin rinse, we're going to take the Vikings. We're going to take the Chargers, the Bills, the Eagles, the Commanders, the Texans, the Lions, the Patriots, the Rams, the Niners, the Bears, Ravens, Packers, Jets, and Broncos. And that is your Week 4 rundown here on the Sunday Script. We're glad you joined us, and we hope to see you next week, where you will be significantly richer, and so will we. We'll see you next week on the Sunday Script.